am getting fitter every day, you know. I did 8 lengths in the pool this morning. Followed by a few press-ups, and then I lifted a couple of weights, you know. Well, just. I can't think why you have to crack open your eggs like that. All that tap, tap, tap. Such a messy way of doing it.
What's it got to do with you?
Well, it gets on my nerves, if you really want to know.
Well, I'm very sorry.
I can't think why you just don't slice the top off like any normal person.
I have always taken the top off my eggs like this.
I know.
It's the way that Nanny showed me when I was a little boy. Dear old Nanny. She used to have a little rhyme that went with it. How did it go now? Oh, yes, yes. Good morning, egg. I hope you're well. Now don't be shy. Come out of your shell.
An old coward, if I'm not mistaken.
Good God, it's off.
You surprised, singing to it like that?
Here.
No, thanks. I'll put another one on for you.
No, I don't fancy one now. Thank you.
Shame. I was rather looking forward to another rendition of your witty ditty. Dad. Look, I know we've discussed this before, but I really would like to contribute something while I'm staying here.
No, Tom. I've told you I don't want anything. Surely I can have my only son to stay without him feeling he's got to pay me.
Well, Dad, I wouldn't mind if just for a week or two, but I have no idea when my flat will be habitable again. I mean, the fire really gutted the place. I rang the insurance company yesterday and they said they can't do anything until they hear from the owner. And Richard Hartley Bennett's in Morocco and just hasn't replied to any of their letters.
Well, you know perfectly well you can stay here as long as you like, indefinitely.
I know. But at least let me pay for the food. That could be my contribution.
All right, if it's going to make you feel any better.
Well, it does. So, what do you fancy for dinner tonight, then?
Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you something I haven't had for a long time.
What's that?
Duckling. Crispy duckling. With tangy orange sauce. And some fresh broccoli. Or perhaps some morse, too.
Fine. What do you want to start with? Smoked salmon?
Oh, what a lovely idea.
Then he says he wants smoked salmon to start with.
He was joking.
He jolly well wasn't. Smoked salmon, followed by fresh duckling, and then profiteroles with fresh cream, if you don't mind.
Well, perhaps you'll find he's a good tipper.
If he goes on demanding food like that, I'd be better off paying half the rent.
Right, Lansdowne Heights, here.
It's true. Oh, it's a fabulous place. I went swimming before breakfast, you know. I go every morning.
You've only been there 2 days.
Well, I've been twice. That's every morning. I shall go again tomorrow. Yeah, I do a few press-ups, and I pump a little iron, you know.
Oh, yeah. Tom Latimer, the poor man's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't believe it.
What is it? Toby changed his mind. He wants caviar instead of smoked salmon.
No, it's from Richard Hartley Bennett's solicitor demanding rent for the last 3 weeks. What a nerve.
Well, what was the agreement?
What do you mean, what was the agreement? I'm not paying for the privilege of not living in a burnt-out shell. It's ridiculous.
Yes, but look at it this way. If you keep paying the rent, it's your flat. You've got security of tenure. Otherwise, what's to stop old Hartley Bennett getting the insurers to do up the flat and then let it to someone else at a much higher rent?
Cowgill and Co., can I help you?
Yeah, can I speak to Mr. Vernon Cargill, please?
Yes, I hear what you say, Dr. Latimer, but if I might advise you off the record, you should keep up your rental payments in order to give yourself security of tenure. Otherwise, my client could let the property to another party when the fire damage has been repaired.
Well, yes, there's nothing to stop him doing that anyway. You see, I just rent the flat on an informal, friendly basis.
Yes, I think I can safely say, off the record and without prejudice, that should this go to law, if you have continued to pay the rent, the courts would view this most favourably.
Well, I just think it's jolly unfair to expect me to pay rent on a place that's totally uninhabitable.
Yes, well, I am merely following my client's instructions in accordance with this postcard he sent me from Marrakesh.
I just pay a sort of nominal rent. You know, a sort of retainer. I mean, let's face it, I'm the one who's been made homeless.
Yes, I hear what you say, Dr. Latimer, but you must understand that I'm merely following my client's instructions. But since you are such good friends, perhaps you might care to discuss this with my client directly.
Well, hardly, since your client is somewhere in the depths of Morocco.
No, he's in London. You'll find him at the Piccadilly Penta, Suite 4.
Piccadilly Penta? Is that enough, Dad?
When I said I fancied crispy duckling, I didn't mean from a Chinese takeaway.
I know, I'm terribly sorry. No, I didn't mean it either. It's just that I've got to go and have dinner with Richard Hartley Bennett to sort this flat business out.
Oh, you're eating at the hotel, are you?
Yes. Prawn balls? Yes, he wants me to meet this new American girlfriend that he met in Marrakesh. Apparently she's absolutely mad about him. Oh, she must be a pervert. Well, I better get my skates on. I said I'd be there by 8:30. Now, there's cheese and biscuits to follow, or if you want to stay in Chinese vein, there's tin of light cheese in cupboard. Hustle. I'll see you later, Dad. And don't wait up.
Over here, Tom. What's kept you, mate? We're starving.
Yes, I'm sorry I'm late, Richard. Unavoidable, I'm afraid.
Never mind, mate. Pull up a chair and say hello to Marilyn, my fiancée. Marilyn Van Chrysler, Tommy Latimer. She's been dying to meet you, mate.
Hello.
I am delighted to meet you, Tom. I've heard so much about you from Rick.
Oh, come on, Moo-Moo. Is that the way to greet one of my oldest and dearest buddies? Say hello properly.
Excuse me, honey. I just have to slip up to the room and powder my nose and freshen up a little. I won't be long, fresh as powder.
Okay, Moo-Moo. Get a little when you get back. Tommy and I can have a little chat.
Excuse me, won't you, Tom?
Of course.
Don't be long, Moo-Moo. You know how much I miss you.
I'll be back as quick as I can, Ricky. Moo. 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 See you later, precious power.
A right little ripper, eh, Tom?
Yes, she is. She's very nice. Didn't realize you were engaged.
It was love at first sight, Tom. Well, as soon as I found out her old man was a multi-millionaire. No, seriously, I really landed on my feet this time.
You love her, then?
Of course I love her. She's loaded. Her old man is one of the biggest manufacturers of ladies' pantyhose in Florida.
You're a ruthless so-and-so, aren't you?
Well, why? Marilyn's happy, I'm happy, and old man Van Chrysler's happy. He's going to set me up in practice over there. I'm going to make a fortune pandering to Miami matrons. Oh, come on, Tom, I'm only joking. I'm not really that mercenary. Of course I love Marilyn. She's a great girl. We get on like a house on fire.
That's not quite the expression I'd use in view of what's happened to the flat.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. I want to talk to you about it.
And I want to talk to you about it. You've got a ruddy nerve expecting me to pay rent in a place when I can't even live there.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
But I do worry about that. Especially when I get letters like this from your solicitor.
Oh, that was before I met Marilyn. Things have changed. Tom, I want to give you the flat.
What?
The £25,000. And at that price, believe me, it's a gift.
It's a burnt-out shell.
Yeah, but when the insurance company have paid for it to be done up, it'll be worth 60 or 70,000.
Knowing you, Richard, you're probably not even insured.
Do you think I'm off me chump? Do you think I'm so stupid as not to insure my own pad? Look, here's the letter from the insurance company agreeing to the claim. Dear Dr. Hartley Bennett, reclaim, blah, blah, blah. Please furnish us with your estimates for repairs to the above property in order that we may process your claim. There it is, Tom, in black and buff. Look, I tell you what, exchange and complete in the next 6 days and we'll call it 20,000.
Listen, if the insurance company are going to pay to do the place up, why are you being so generous to me? Why are you selling it to me for £20,000 when you can do it up yourself and make 3 times that much?
I can't be bothered with all the hassle, mate. All that form filling and then dealing with the builders. Besides, I'm off to the States in a week to marry into one of the richest families in Florida. Look, it's all profit for me. I inherited the flat from my grandmother, so there's no mortgage to pay off. All I want is a wad of dollars to show Marilyn's old man that I'm a man of substance. But I must have that 20 grand in my bank account before I leave. I need some money to pay my hotel bill.
Year lease. Now, I reckon once the place is done up, it'll be worth £70,000.
Yeah, well, I must say, I can't see how you can go wrong.
Well, I can't. It's a slip.
Are you sure that the insurance company has agreed to the claim? I'm not too certain about your friend Hartley Bennett.
Dad, I've seen the letter. The claim has been approved 100%. The only reason they haven't done anything is because he hasn't replied to them.
Why hasn't he?
A, he's been in Morocco, and B, he is just plain bone idle. You see, they can't do anything until they have written estimates of the work to be done and that sort of thing. I don't mind dealing with builders and decorators. Not if I'm going to end up with a flat that's worth £70,000, eh? Hey, I'll use Mum's little man. What's his name? Mr. Crawshaw. Is he reliable?
His name is Mr. Crayshaw, and he's very reliable, and he happens to be my little man.
Good. Have you got his number?
No, you'll have to ask your mother.
Right. Wow, isn't this exciting, eh?
You had better get your solicitor to find out about ground rent.
Yes.
And service charges, and maintenance charges. You've got to get him to check that lease out thoroughly.
The only trouble is, I still owe my solicitor money from my divorce.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah, now, I'll ring him tomorrow. Now, to save time, I'm going to meet Richard at his solicitor's office tomorrow lunchtime. And I'll look at the lease then. I'd better make a list of things I've got to do in the morning.
Yeah.
Got to ring Mum, get Mr. Crawshaw's number.
Crayshaw.
Oh, yes, Crayshaw. Arrange to meet him in the flat sometime. Ring my solicitor. Ask about ground rent and other charges.
Absolutely.
Now, what else have I got to do?
Well, you have overlooked one fairly important item.
What's that?
You've got to find the £20,000.
Oh, yes, of course. Ring the bank. I'm sure they'll lend me the money. I mean, it's such a good investment, don't you think?
Well, I can't imagine that they won't. Although, they may want the repairs done first.
Oh, Lord, now that's impossible. I mean, if that money's not in Richard's account in the next 5 days, the whole deal's off.
I'll lend you the money.
Oh, Dad. Thanks. I'll pay you back.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'll give you till next weekend.
Ground rent is a nominal £50, and the maintenance charges are 100. I'm so sorry. It's quite all right. Anyway, Dr. Latimer, your own solicitor will explain all the legalities to you.
Yes.
But we don't want to get another solicitor involved, a waste of money. You do it for him, Vern, then Tom and me can split the costs.
I cannot act for both vendor and purchaser. It's not allowed by the Law Society.
Ah, stuff the Law Society. Who's going to tell him? Look, it'll save a lot of time if you do it all, Vern.
No, Richard, he just said that he can't.
But if we have letters to him and fro, it's going to take an age. You know what solicitors are like. Look, you'd be better off doing it yourself. Save yourself a few £100, eh, Vern?
Yes, well, people do carry out their own conveyancing, but I strongly advise Dr. Latimer to have someone go over the lease for his own peace of mind.
Look, he knows the flat, Vern. He's been living there for months.
But there's the search to be done.
What's that?
Well, the purchaser's solicitor has to check that there is no compulsory order on the property and that there's no plans for a motorway, etc. You know, that's...
Well, he's got my word for that.
With all due respect, Richard, your word isn't quite good enough. No, it has to be legally established.
Well, he can nip down the local...
Just a minute, please.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much.
Look, he can nip down the local authority and check for himself, eh, Tom?
Well, I don't know, can I?
Well, you could do it yourself, but you wouldn't know what to do. Now, I can give you the number of a company agent who will make a search on your behalf, and he'll charge you about £50.
Well, how long would that take?
Well, you can have it all within 48 hours.
Well, that's your answer, mate. Do it yourself.
Anything else I should do?
No, nothing really. The rest is up to me. I will send out a contract, and then as the vendor solicitor, I will inform you that my client is the rightful owner.
Look, he knows I'm the owner, for Pete's sake. I was left the flat by me granny.
We are dealing with a legal document. Now, you could do it yourself, Dr. Latimer, but I strongly advise you to get a solicitor.
Oh, come on, Vern. That lease is 100% A-OK. You know that as well as I do. What does he want to go wasting money on solicitors for?
Mr. Cargill is talking about peace of mind.
Quite.
All I'm saying is that my granny paid Vern to go through that lease, and there's nothing in it that any solicitor could possibly disapprove of. Right, Vern?
Yes.
And Vern will confirm that.
But that's the whole point. He's acting for you, so he can't.
He just has done.
What? No. No, I haven't. That was off the record. I cannot act for the purchaser. I act for the vendor. Now, if you don't mind, I'll curtail this meeting because I now have a very important luncheon in the West End at 1:30.
Yes, well, I've got to go out on my rounds again. I'm terribly sorry.
Leave it.
Well, I take your point about the lease, but apart from the search, there's very little else for the purchaser to do.
He's got to stump up £20,000.
I do know that much, Richard. Am I right, Mr. Cargill?
Well, yes.
Do it yourself, mate. Save yourself some money and time. I've got to have that 20 grand in my account by Thursday, or the deal's off.
Gentlemen.
Oh, please excuse me.
Listen, it's your surgery. If you feel tired, take a nap. There's room for two.
Your blood pressure's fine, Mr. Byman. I'm very pleased with you.
I wish I could say the same for you here, Dr. Latimer.
I'm sorry?
Well, while I'm lying here on the bed, watching you examining me, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking you're looking a bit peaky. In fact, if I were your doctor, I'd be worried about you.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine, really. It's just that I've had a bit of a busy week, that's all.
That's all! You're looking tired, believe me. You're probably overdoing it. Get that Dr. Cartwright to take a look at you. You could be anemic.
No, I'm all right, honestly. No, it's just that I'm buying a flat at the moment, and it's all had to happen very quickly.
Listen, you can't rush these things. Buying property takes time, believe me.
Actually, we complete today, and it would have taken exactly 6 days from start to finish.
6 days?
Yeah.
Give me the name of your lawyer. I'll use him.
No, I didn't use a lawyer. I did it all myself.
What? You've got to be out of your mind.
I'm sorry?
When I'm ill, I go to the doctor. When I want an audit, I go to the accountant. And when I'm buying property, I go to the lawyer.
Normally, I'd agree with you, but in this case, it wasn't very difficult. To begin with, I'm buying the flat from someone I know.
Sounds like trouble already.
No. My partner has a lawyer friend, and he checked the lease. I had the searches carried out professionally, and the rest was all very straightforward.
It's straightforward until something goes wrong. That's when we should use the professional. I can say I've got a cold, right? When I die of double pneumonia and you say, why didn't you go to the doctor? It's too late, I'm dead already.
It's not quite the same thing, Mr. Beinman. Now, your blood pressure's fine and your chest is clear. But I'd like you to take these.
What is it?
It's a course of iron tablets. I think you're a tiny bit anemic.
What you talking about? I've never been anemic in my life.
That smoked salmon was delicious.
Great. Well, here we are. One roast duckling. I hope it's crispy enough for you.
Oh, it looks perfect.
And profiterolles to follow with fresh double cream. Now, help yourself to vegetables. Add some mange tout, broccoli, potatoes, and a tangy orange sauce.
Oh, brilliant. You've gone to a lot of trouble, Tom.
Well, it's a bit of a celebration, isn't it?
Yes. Here's to the new owner of Flat 8, 2 Anderson Avenue.
Oh, for the next 87 years, anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
I shall miss you. And your cooking.
No, don't worry. I'll be here for some time yet. It'll take at least a couple of months to do the flat up.
Yes, I suppose it will.
You know, I bet a solicitor couldn't have done it any quicker than I have. All it cost me was £50 for the search.
Well, it's very good. I thought you were very unwise not to go to a solicitor, but you proved me wrong.
No, I tell a lie. It was £52. I spent a couple of quid on that do-it-yourself conveyancing book. Actually, the little chap kept pulling me under. At one moment, look at this. It's the estimate for Mr. Crayshaw. I'll get it straight round to the insurance company.
How much?
41,000. Now, where was I? He kept pulling me under. At one point, I thought I was a goner.
They shouldn't allow children down there if they can't swim. Thank God you were there.
I wish you'd been there with a video camera. To record it for posterity. You know, when I was in the Cubs, I never even got my swimming badge. Kayla would have been proud of me.
It's straightforward until something goes wrong. That's when you wish you'd gone to a professional.
But I thought the insurance company had agreed the claim. You said you'd seen the letter.
Yes, addressed to Richard Hartley Bennett. He was the insured. You see, I didn't realize that once he sold the flat, the insurance company weren't liable for the claim. I'm the new owner, and I'm not insured. It was so obvious, but it just never occurred to me.
20,000 quid for a barbecued bedsit. I told you to go to a solicitor. I mean, even if he hadn't spotted it, you could have sued him for negligence. If only you'd gone to a solicitor.
I know, I wanted to save money. Look, maybe I could borrow another 40,000, do the place up and sell it and split the profits.
Tom, so far I haven't been very impressed with your business acumen.
Look, I've got to pop downstairs. I met the mother of that little boy I fished out of the pool this morning. Her husband wants to thank me. Anyway, I want to see how he is.
Yeah, okay.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. Well, how was the little fella?
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah?
There's no after effects at all.
Oh, good.
His father was very grateful.
I can imagine.
Just think of that little boy had drowned. Makes my problems with the flat pale into insignificance.
Yeah, of course it does.
You know, his father was in tears. He's got 7 daughters, and that boy was his only son.
7 daughters? Good Lord.
He's the Sheikh of Kalabastan.
Kalabastan? Where the hell's that?
Well, I've no idea, but he's going back there tomorrow. That's why he wanted to see me. Give me a present. My way of a thank you.
Oh, that's very kind.
Yeah.
Couple of oil wells.
Oh. I should be so lucky. No, just a Rolls Corniche. There should be enough change out of that to do up the flat, eh?